I woke up this morning and it was 50 degrees out. Even though it's sunny, it still didn't even reach 70 today, and I am loving it. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Meredith, and I am so excited that fall is finally here. No, I know the calendar doesn't say that fall is here, but my heart says fall is here, and today the weather decided to say that too. It feels so nice and crisp outside, and it is perfect sweatshirt and hoodie weather. I thought today would be the perfect day to share my fall 2024 bucket list. Every year, I get so excited when fall comes, and I make this big list of things that I would love to do. And then all of a sudden, it's like time just disappears, and before I know it, it's Christmas, and then it's the new year, and then it's January, and I didn't really take the time to enjoy the season. I love all of the seasons, don't get me wrong, and I've definitely enjoyed summer, but I am truly a winter and fall girl. I don't know what it is about those months. A lot of people say the burr months, but truly for me, once August gets here, I am just in that zone. I am ready for cooler days. Um, dare I say, I'm ready for it to start getting a little darker a little sooner. And it just really brings me to life. I love all things cozy, and I think that's what it is for me. Is it feels cozy. So, with that in mind, I sat down and I made a list of all the things that I wanted to do this fall season to really slow down and enjoy the season. This year, I decided that rather than looking back at the end of the year and seeing all the things that I missed out on doing or all the missed opportunities, that I wanted to look back and see all of the things that I had done. So far, I have managed to accomplish all the things I wanted to do for spring and summer. And so I'm going to be realistic when I look at this list, but I have a feeling I'm going to accomplish a majority of that for fall as well. So I have my list here that I'll be sharing, and I've broke my list up into a few different things. So I have activities that I want to do, books that I want to read, movies and shows that I want to watch, either rewatches or watching for the first time, and recipes that I want to try. I've got a little kind of side category for date night ideas for my husband and I. So I'll be sure I share those as well. So starting off with activities. Some of these you may not consider necessarily fall activities, but for me, they made me think of fall, or I just thought that that would be the best season or the best time of year to do them. And number one is go hiking to look at the leaves. I used to live in the mountains in North Carolina, and one of my favorite things was when the leaves reached peak season. I miss those mountain views so much. And even though I still live in mountains here in Kentucky, I don't have the views like I had there. So I would really like to take a morning, maybe do a morning hike and have like lunch or take a picnic lunch somewhere up on the mountain and look at the leaves when they change. I'm assuming that's probably going to be mid to late September, depending on how much rain we get here. Next on my list is visit a pumpkin patch. Or I don't think that I have done that since I was a kid. Um, and honestly, I don't even know if I remember doing that then. I remember going to a cider mill and they had pumpkins, but I don't know that it was an actual pumpkin patch. So I'm excited to do that. I would like to pick out some pumpkins for our porch, and then I want that to lead into another item on my list, which is carved pumpkins this year. I've had that on my list for the last 5 or 6 years, and I haven't done it in so long. A fun fact about me, I don't know that I carved my first pumpkin until I was probably 18 or 19. So, this is definitely something that I want to do this year to make my inner child happy. A bonfire, I love bonfires. We do these pretty much all year round, but there's something about that first one of the fall that is just really special. And I figure bonfire with s'mores, roasting marshmallows, that would be a great way to celebrate the fall season. Roasting pumpkin seeds. This is something I've never done, but once I carve those pumpkins, I really want to make use of what we get out of them. So I want to roast some pumpkin seeds and maybe see what I can come up with to use the insides of the pumpkin for. One big thing for me in fall, and one of the reasons that I end up not getting a lot of the things on my list done every year, is my annual girls' trip. So, whenever I think of fall or the month of October, especially, I think about my annual girls' trip. And so that takes up a huge part of my month of October. It is normally an 8 to 9 day trip with my girlfriends that I look forward to every year. This year, I want us to incorporate um, some different little things in there because it's kind of close to Halloween. We've talked about doing a haunted house, or maybe doing the area we're going to this year has a haunted cruise where they will take you out and kind of tell you scary stories about the area. So that's something that I'm looking forward to this year, as well as this is one of those things that while you can enjoy it all year long, to me, there is nothing like a fall sunrise at the beach. So I'm looking forward to watching the sunrise while I'm at the beach and really just enjoying the nice, chilly morning air while I drink my coffee and watch the sunrise over the ocean. I Haunted house is on the list, hopefully for the girls' trip, but if we don't make it during that time, I definitely want to put that on my list to do sometime in October, as well as visit a corn maze. I love the idea of a haunted corn maze. Where I used to live in North Carolina, there was one close to my house, and I was only able to visit it once, even though I lived there about 15 years. So I would like to find something like that again to go to, as well as a fall festival. I have two different fall festivals already on my calendar, and the first one is actually in a couple of weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love going to fall festivals and meeting local vendors and trying all of the fall treats, the apples, candy apples, getting the breads, pumpkin bread, apple bread, just all of the wonderful fall things. I would also love to do a fall photo shoot. My husband and I have never had professional pictures taken. We did not even have real wedding photos taken. We ended up doing a backyard ceremony right when COVID hit. So we had all of 10 people at our wedding, and sadly, because we wanted those people to be there, we could not get a photographer. So we made do with just some selfies and pictures that friends and family took, which was wonderful. But I would really like to get some professional pictures done, and the colors and just the atmosphere of fall, I think, would be perfect for that. We also loved going to football games. Growing up, I was at every high school football game on Friday night that I could get to. Last couple of years, my husband and I have gone to either a college football game or an NFL game. And so I'd really like to do a nighttime college football game this year. So we are going to have to check out the schedule and go ahead and get that planned. Another activity that I am wanting to try, and I've actually started already, is making sourdough bread. I know that might not necessarily be a fall activity, but I just love comfort food. And I can't think of better comfort foods than pastas and breads. So I wanted to try my hand at making my own sourdough bread. And from what I've read and seen on YouTube and TikTok, it looks like there are a lot of amazing recipes to use your sourdough starter in. So I'm currently working on my sourdough starter, and so far it's looking pretty good. I also would like to do a Halloween party, go to a Halloween party or a costume party. And one thing I've not done in a really long time is give out candy on Halloween. We don't have a lot of trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood, but I would really like to find somewhere to go and do that. Maybe even go to a trunk or treat or something like that and hand out candy this year. Oh, one other thing that I forgot to mention is I wanted to just have a little fall get together with my girlfriends just to, celebrate the fall season, maybe do a cookie exchange, even though I know that's something a lot of people typically do around Christmas. I thought it would be fun to do it during the fall season. Maybe have everybody do, instead of treats, we could do appetizers or maybe something like a chili cook-off or contest or something like that. So I already have that scheduled for mid-September, and I'm really looking forward to that. Now let's move on to books that I would like to read. I just recently, in the last 5 or 6 months, got back into reading. It's something that I really, really enjoyed doing when I was younger. And then as I got older, I kind of got away from it, more so when I started the career that I'm in now. I'm a medical coder, so I'm staring at a screen all day. I'm reading charts all day. And by the time I get done reading for my job, I've not always had the, mental capacity to read for pleasure. But that is something that I've just kind of gotten back into. And I found that it has really helped having the physical books um, instead of trying to read on my Kindle. And I know a lot of people are fans of audiobooks. I just don't know what it is. I guess that nostalgia again of just holding a book and flipping through the pages. The one downside to that is it can be expensive to buy books. So I have recently rediscovered my love for my local library. Again, going back to that inner child growing up, I spent so much time at the library, and I would come home with as many books as they would let me check out at a time. So I am going to see how many of these books on my list I can find there. And if they don't have them at my local library, then I'm going to check for them at this new used bookstore that I found over the weekend. I was so excited because I actually had these two books that I bought on my list, and I got them for a fraction of the sale price. So first on the list, I've actually already started, is The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. And I will apologize on some of these. I don't have the author's name, but I will be putting the book covers up on the ones that I don't have so that you can get it. But I just started this one last night, so I'm only a chapter or two in. If you would like reviews of any of these, just let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to do that as a separate video. But The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling, it says, never mix vodka and witchcraft, and I just thought that that sounded like it could be a pretty hilarious or a pretty disastrous combination. So I thought this would be fun to read. Next is Back in a Spell by Lana Harper. I have not read, like I said, I've been out of the reading game for a long time, so I don't know really any of these authors. I don't know a lot of good authors. When I was reading books consistently, I read a lot of thrillers and mystery and rom-coms, so I loved Mary Higgins Clark, John Grisham, Nicholas Sparks, Sophie Kinsella. I also loved the Twilight book series, which a lot of people will probably make fun of, but that's okay. So if you have any good suggestions of authors that I should be checking out or books I should check out, also leave those for me in the comments, and I would love to check them out. So, but back to this, Back in a Spell, Lana Harper, and there's another book by her, Payback's a Witch. I also have that on my list to read. So we'll see how we do there. Next is Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and the author of that book has another one called Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Like I said, I'll have the pictures popped up here for you to look at the covers, but I thought both of those looked like they would be fun, and I've seen some good reviews on TikTok about those. The Spell Shop, I saw that one in the bookstore and I almost bought it, but I did not want to overcommit. And I thought if I could find it at the library, that I would just start there. The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic is another one that's on my list. As you can tell, like, I'm really kind of into the witchy, like, Halloween-y theme this year. It's kind of one of the themes that I'm leaning towards for my Halloween decor. So I feel like that'll kind of help get me into the Halloween, like, mindset, I guess. So we have The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic, and then the next one is Back in a Spell, and then Go Hex Yourself. So I don't have a ton of books on my reading list. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 books. I'll probably throw a 10th one in there just in case. I can normally get through a book to a book and a half a week. So I feel like 9 to 10 will be plenty for me to start with. Moving on next to shows or movies to watch. So in the show category, my husband and I are currently finishing up Supernatural. For me, it's been a rewatch, but we've been watching this probably for the last year. It took me a while to talk him into watching it, and then we've just kind of had to take it, as we can both have time off together to watch episodes. So we are about to finish that up, and Supernatural is probably one of my favorite shows, and it's also my comfort rewatch show. So I can watch that anytime, but it just makes it extra spooky, I think, when you watch it in the fall or around Halloween. Next on the list is going to be The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon show. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, and because the shows come back in the fall time, of course, I associate that with fall, but then it's also zombies. So, 2 for 2. That comes back the end of September. So that's on my list. And then this may surprise a lot of people, but I have never watched a single episode of Gilmore Girls. And I don't get all of the associations that people have with it being a fall TV show. So that's something I want to watch this year. I thought it would be a great thing that I could take on watching myself, while my husband's at work or something. So I'm going to watch Gilmore Girls. I feel like when it came out, I probably was in my early 20s, and during a lot of that time, I did not have TV. So I was trying to figure out how I did not watch that when it first came out, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason. And plus, like, on the plus side, I know that Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam in Supernatural, also plays in Gilmore Girls. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him in there. So that kind of rounds it up for TV shows. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I used to watch religiously my set shows, but I'm not a person that picks up new TV shows very easily. I stay committed, and then when a show that I love ends, I rewatch it. So let me know if that's something that you do as well. It's just very hard for me to move on from the characters I love so much, I guess. Moving on to movies. So I've seen some cute things on Pinterest for movie themed, like date nights or nights with your kid, where you make up the envelopes. Like, so on each piece of paper, you put a movie and that's your theme. And then you make your meals or your snacks or your drinks or whatever associated with that movie. So I wanted to do up at least 4 to 5 of those for my husband and I to do for random movie nights throughout the fall. Once I get them made up, I'll share them in a future video just so you can see what I came up with. But some of the movies that I want to include on there are old favorites. As I said, I like to rewatch my shows. But at the top of the list is It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I will watch this every year, probably until I die. It is a classic for me. I definitely associate it with my childhood, and it makes me think of my dad, who passed away well, gosh, I guess it's been about 8 years ago now. I was just thinking time really does fly. So I always have to watch all of the Charlie Browns for all of the seasons or just the specials. So definitely, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Next up is Halloween movies. Michael Myers is my favorite scary movie guy. Him, and then Ghostface from Scream is my second one. I love to be scared. I've always loved scary movies and thrillers. So the original Halloween, hands down, is one of my favorites, and I will always find that scary. Even though it's very cheesy, watching it now, you realize like how low budget a lot of that stuff was. But I'll definitely watch all of the Halloween movies. And that happens every year, regardless of if I watch anything else. It's always, Charlie Brown and the Halloween movies. But aside from that, this year, I would also like to watch Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. I have yet to see the second movie, so that will be a new one for me to see this year. Nightmare Before Christmas. I like to save that one for like the November to kind of lead me into my Christmas movie watching. Practical Magic, and I definitely know that that's going on our movie night list, or maybe that will be something that my girlfriends and I watch, but we'll definitely be having Midnight Margaritas. And let's see. Another, I guess, crime against humanity for a lot of people. I have yet to see all of the Harry Potter movies, and my best friend and I started watching these. Gosh, it's been a little over a year now, and because we have such busy schedules, we haven't made it all the way through. So I think I've got 2 left to watch. So I'm gonna have to put some time on her schedule to get those final 2 movies watched. So I have the last 2 Harry Potter movies on my list as well. Another kind of take me back to high school era, The Craft, as well as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. One that's not really like a scary movie, but Varsity Blues, football season. I love Varsity Blues. I can recite the whole thing from heart or by heart. So that's on my list. And You've Got Mail. I saw this on somebody else's watch list, and I thought, I probably was in middle school maybe when that came out. So I never really didn't really know to associate it with fall. But I think I'm going to have to watch it and just kind of see what I think about that. So I know a lot of this, it sounds like a lot when I'm reading it off. It sounds like a lot of things, but a lot of these can be, I think, kind of combined together to mark some things off the list. Next, moving on to recipes. So anything pumpkin, I want to try it. Pumpkin, apple cinnamon, I love it all. So if you have any favorite fall recipes, or it doesn't even have to be food, drinks, please send them my way because I would love to try them. Let me just pull up my Pinterest board here, and I'll share some pictures of the things that I'm wanting to make. So I have it kind of broken into a couple of categories. I have drinks, foods, and coffees. Under the drinks category, it's mainly like adult beverages. I I'm a bourbon girl, especially in the fall. So I want to find some bourbon drinks. I also want to try to make this. I found a recipe for a white wine fall sangria, I believe it is. So I want to make that, and I might actually do that this weekend. Looking at the treat side of things, I have pumpkin s'mores. This just looks amazing. Pumpkin cinnamon rolls. As I said, anything pumpkin, just about anything pumpkin, I guess within reason. I want to try it. I made these last year and I will probably make them again this year, but apple crisp mini cheesecakes. These were delicious. I did them for Thanksgiving last year and they were a big hit. Pumpkin crunch cake. Especially with some cinnamon ice cream. Oh, that would be so good. And some caramel drizzled on top. Pumpkin French toast. Let's see. I this one just pumpkin snickerdoodles and pumpkin cheesecake snickerdoodles. I might have to make both. We love snickerdoodles here. It's probably one of my favorite cookies that my mom makes and made when I was growing up. So again, that nostalgia factor. But you add cheesecake on top of that, and that's like two of my favorite things in the world. So definitely going to try that. You have to have like a homemade apple pie. I think that's very fall. That's all my fall treats like that I could come up with. Honeycrisp apple sangria. That's what I want to make. It is a white wine, honey, peach schnapps, seltzer, apple slices, and cinnamon sticks. To me, that just all screams fall, and I'm here for it. So I definitely want to try to make that. If we're thinking actual foods, I have never made chili. I can't believe it, but I've never made chili. I make taco soup. I make potato soup, both of which I love for fall, and I'll definitely be having probably this week actually. But I want to try my hand at making my own chili. I also want to make my own pasta from scratch and use that pasta to make maybe lasagna or just maybe like spaghetti and meatballs. Something just really good and warm and comforting. In one of my previous videos, I shared a crockpot chicken pot pie that I will definitely be making all season long. Tortellini soup is one of our favorites in the fall. I want to try my hand at making my own tomato soup from scratch, as well as broccoli cheddar soup. All the soups, all the stews. I want to try them all. Oh, chicken and dumplings. You have to have chicken and dumplings in the fall time too. That's a staple. For my coffee drinks, I love pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin spice cold brew, all of course, all the pumpkin stuff. I've seen pumpkin marshmallow going around, and that's something I definitely have to try. I also love brown sugar shaken espressos, and I've been playing around with some recipes for that. Cinnamon roll. A cinnamon roll latte is what I made the other day, and that was delicious. Butterscotch latte. Oh, that sounds amazing. Snickerdoodle latte. I'll be trying my hand at that. And then chai. I love chai tea. I love a chai latte. I love a dirty chai. So those are kind of some of the things that I'm going to be playing around. I say playing around with. Some of them I've had before, some of them I haven't. So we'll kind of see what I come up with. I did share a pumpkin sauce and a pumpkin creamer from scratch recipe in one of my fall videos. I'll have that linked as well. I'll have that linked so you can check it out if you're interested. I want to retry the pumpkin sauce and see. I'd like it to be a little thinner consistency than the recipe that I posted, but if I come up with a better one, I will definitely share that. When it comes to like the fall adult beverages, aside from the sangria, one of my favorites is they have a salted caramel crown or just any kind of like caramel whiskey mixed with apple cider and like a drizzle of caramel sauce. Oh, it's like fall in a glass. it has that smokiness, but it also has the like cinnamon and the spice and the apple. So that's something that I'll be making. We also love to get the Angry Orchards and have the Angry Orchard cider with the Fireball added to it. See, I can tell it's fall because my nose is already starting to run, which means, oh yay, fall allergies. Ooh, okay, so this one sounds really good. Apple buttered, apple, apple buttered, apple butter old fashioned cocktail. I love old fashions, and so I think this sounds like it could be something that would be really good. So that about wraps it up for my fall bucket list and my fall plans. I really just want to take the time to slow down and enjoy the season as much as possible. Thank you so much for joining me today and letting me share just a little bit about how I plan on spending this fall season. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that it gave you some ideas for things that you could do or read or watch for the fall season. I would love if you shared with me in the comments below what it is you look forward to most about the fall, whether it be books, TV shows, places you like to visit, recipes, just whatever brings you joy during this season. And if you haven't already, I would love if you would subscribe and become a part of my YouTube family. I am so very thankful for each and every one of you that subscribe, like my video, and comment. It means the world to me. I have more fall content coming in the next couple of weeks. I'll be sharing some more Decorate With Me videos, as well as some crafting and some shopping / haul videos for Halloween decor. So be sure that you hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload another video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. See you next time.